Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mohammed Ali and I am in 10th grade. I will be talking to you about one of Allah's names, Al-Malik. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون. He is Allah, other than whom there is no deity, the sovereign, the pure, the perfection, the bestower of faith, the overseer, the exalted in might, the compeller, the superior. Exalted is Allah above whatever they associate with Him. In Arabic, the word mulk means the ability to dispose with things, and hence, God's name, the King, is derived from His self. But it can also be derived from His acts as a disposer with all things. In a hadith al-Qudsi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I am the King of kings and the owner of kings. The hearts of kings are in my hand. If my slaves obey me, I turn the hearts of their kings to them with tenderness and mercy. But if my slaves disobey me, I turn the hearts of their kings to them with wrath and avenge. Therefore, do not occupy yourselves by abusing kings, but rather pray to Allah for their reform, for their reform comes from your own reform. Allah is the King and owner of all kings. An ayah to support this would be أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. Say, O Allah, possessor of the kingdom, you give me the kingdom to whom you will, and you take the kingdom from whom you will, and you endue with honor whom you will, and you humiliate whom you will. Your hand is the good. Verily, you are able to do all things. In other words, everything that can be owned belongs to Allah. Some scholars hold that a king is someone who rules but does not own, and an owner is someone who owns but does not rule. But Allah is the owner and the king. Sometimes a person may own something but does not have the right to use it. Sometimes a person may use and dispose with something although he does not own it. And sometimes a person may own, use, and dispose with something, but in the end, it does not remain his own. Now, if we say something is a king, do we mean that he is really or metaphorically a king? Scholars refuted the idea that anyone can really own anything except God, and any kind of ownership other than that of God is only metaphoric and unreal. This is because the real king is someone who is self-sufficient in both himself and attributes and needs no one or nothing else in existence. Is there a king who is self-sufficient and needs nothing for his existence and survival? Does he not need air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and sleep to rest? Does he not feel afraid or sad? Does he not wish he could have more supporters and helpers? How can you live by this name? Number 1. Stay within the limits of Al-Malik. In your daily life, keep reminding yourself to remain within the bounds set by Allah, Al-Malik, your king, and imagine both his punishment and reward. Number 2. Don't use the name Al-Malik. The Prophet ﷺ also said, the most despicable name to Allah is a person who calls himself the King of Kings, while there are no owners except Allah. The name Al-Malik belongs to Allah S.W.T only. Number 3. Be patient and be a king in the hereafter. The real sovereignty in this world for you is to strive for self-control. Don't be a slave of money, fashion, or desire, but suppress your desires and constantly strive against the whims of your ego to please Al-Malik. Be patient in times of hardship and in striving to stay away from what is forbidden by Al-Malik, and He will give you an eternal kingdom in the hereafter, inshallah. Number 4. Ask Al-Malik. Whenever you feel disheartened, tell yourself Allah S.W.T is your Malik, and you are part of his kingdom. He does whatever he wants, and when something bad happens to you, know this is from his wisdom, and that no matter how impossible your situation or ambitions seem, you can always ask him only for a way out. Nothing is impossible for Al-Malik. Be just. All kings and owners, just or unjust, are low compared to Al-Malik. You are responsible for whatever you have authority over, and you will be accountable for it. In reality, you don't own anything. It all belongs to Al-Malik. So be just to your spouses, children, and even animals, and remind yourself that you will be dealt with by the king on the day of judgment. Number 6. Humble yourself in heart and body. Never be arrogant, and keep reminding yourself that you are a slave of Al-Malik. No matter how rich or self-sufficient you might be humble in your heart, but also in your speech and appearance. Using foul language, speaking poorly of others, or having an arrogant body posture are not features of a believer who humbles himself or herself for Al-Malik. He sees you all the time. Number 7. Praise Al-Malik. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever says, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamd, wa huwa ala kulli shayin qadir. None has the right to be worshipped except Allah alone without partner. To him belongs all sovereignty and praise, and he is over all things omnipotent. 100 times he will receive the reward of freeing 10 slaves. 100 hasanat will be written for him, and 100 sins will be washed away. He will be shielded from shaitan until the evening. No one will be able to present anything better than this except for someone who recited more than this. I hope all of this benefited you. Jazakallahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.